Welcome to yoga. Let's begin an extended child's pose. So make your way to the back half of your mat. Take your knees as wide as comfortable. Big toes touch behind you. Bring your hips to your heels and lower your chest down towards your mat as your arms extend out long in front of you. Let your forehead rest on your mat. Relax. Today's practice is one of strength and release, a practice of holding on and letting go. So be present in each pose, either holding on or letting go. Here, you can let go. Then rise and make your way to downward facing dog. Press your hips high and back, press your chest towards your thighs, and take a few deep breaths here to settle in. Now slowly walk your feet forward a couple inches at a time, articulating each step to warm up your legs on your journey towards the top of your mat. Then meet me in a forward fold with your feet about hip distance, a generous bend in your knees, and grab onto your elbows for Ragdoll. Release the weight of your head so that your head can hang heavy, and feel free to sway side to side or take any movement that feels good for you in this pose. Even your jaw is relaxed. Release your arms, step your feet together to touch, bend your knees, tuck your chin, and unroll all the way up to standing, pulling your lower belly in as you rise. For Samastitihi, meet me in a standing position near the top of your mat with your hands together at heart center, and close your eyes. Feel your breath in and out through your nose. You're exactly where you need to be. For this next series, we will hold each pose for about 3 deep breaths. So find your breath, so you're not mindlessly moving on your mat, but mindful of the breath that fills you and how it feels within each pose as you settle in. So with a deep breath in and out through your nose, or Ujjayi Pranayama if it's in your practice, open your eyes and sit back in the chair. Reach your hips back as if someone's scooting a chair in behind you. And with your arms overhead, firm up your core, soften your shoulders, soften your jaw, find your breath. Next, open arm twist to the right. Reach your right arm back, left arm forward. Turn your chin to the right and set your gaze where you want your twist to go. Then come back to chair pose and open arm to the left. Reach your left arm back, right arm forward. Twist even through your chin and gaze. Feel yourself in this pose. Next, inhale, come back to chair pose, then exhale to chair plane. Sweep your arms behind you, palms facing down. As if you're trying to get your pinkies to touch behind you, roll your shoulders open and challenge the pose by lifting up to your tippy toes. Then lower your heels down and inhale, find chair pose. Exhale to forward fold. For halfway lift, big breath in, find your flat back. Then chaturanga as you breathe out. Plant your hands, step your feet back, lower down halfway. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. And reach your right leg high and hold. Flex your right toes down towards the ground to keep your hips squared off towards your mat. Be present in all of that sensation. Then next is a low lunge. Step your right foot through, lower your back heel down, and rise up for warrior one. If it helps, take your hands to your hips and physically square your hips. Push your right hip back, left hip forward. Squared off here means parallel with the front of your mat. So if it helps, shorten your stance a little bit. Now set up for a humble warrior for 3 deep breaths. Interlace your hands behind your lower back. Roll your shoulders open and lift up through your chest as you feel your knuckles graze your back thigh. One more big inhale. Exhale to humble warrior. Lower your chest down towards your mat as you press your knuckles up to the ceiling. Chest goes inside of your front thigh. Crown of your head reaches down towards the ground. 3, 2, 1. Inhale to rise. Press your weight down through your feet as you lift up. Reach your arms overhead for your warrior one. Then open up into warrior two. Adjust your stance as much as you need to. And work on opening your right knee up, feeling the weight in the pinky side edge of your right foot. Next is reverse triangle. Inhale as you straighten out your legs and reach your right arm high. And let's add an interesting variation I've heard called sky archer. Use your left hand to grab your right overhead and flex your right toes back towards your face. Next is triangle pose. Hinge at your hips to reach your right arm down and your left arm high. And for my body, it takes a second to really settle into this pose. So holding for a couple of breaths helps to lengthen through my spine and allow my hips to trust me enough to go a little deeper. From here, let's transition to Skandasana at the back of your mat. Bend your back knee. Bring your hands to heart center as you sit your hips back. You can do a side lunge as a variation or come all the way down into Skandasana, but keep lifting up through your chest and heart so you're not caving forward. Face is calm, jaw is calm, breath is calm. The poses are calm. From here, walk your hands to the top of your mat, coming forward into a low lunge, and then step your right foot back into a high plank with your right leg lifting and hold. Remember everything I just said about being calm? Use that here. An option to keep your right leg lifting as you lower down halfway into your low plank, chaturanga. Then inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, send it back to downward facing dog and reach your left leg high, hold, and breathe. We'll hold this left side for just as long as we did on the right side, taking our time as we settle in to each pose. Next is a low lunge. Step your left foot through, spin your back heel down, and rise up to find warrior one. Settle in and breathe as you work to square your hips off to the front of your mat. Left hip back, right hip forward. Then interlace your hands behind your lower back and roll your shoulders open as you breathe to lift up through your heart. Let your knuckles slide down your back thigh. And next is humble warrior. Keep your hands as they are, hinge at your hips and lower your chest, then the crown of your head down towards the mat inside of your left ankle. Don't forget to breathe. Your breath is half of this practice. So focus on creating and sustaining and maintaining that deep, calm breath. Next is warrior one. Rise up, release your hands, reach your arms overhead. Then open up into warrior two. Take your time. Arms are strong. Legs are strong. Core is strong. Breath is calm. Face is calm. Next is reverse triangle for about 3 deep breaths. You can add the sky archer variation if you do on the other side. Grab your left wrist, flex your left toes back, and enjoy the different sensations of this variation. Then triangle pose. Reach your left arm down, right arm high. Do your best to stay flat in this pose though. By that I mean don't stick your booty out behind you and your chest out in front of you. You might have to actually be a little higher in this pose, grabbing onto your shin instead of trying to touch the ground. That's okay. From here, smooth transition to Skandasana. Bring your hands at heart center. As you rise, bend your back knee, straightening out your left leg. Lower down into your Skandasana, or you can take that modification, that side lunge. Breathing in and out through your nose to keep your body calm, to help turn on the parasympathetic nervous system, rest and relaxation, even while you're being challenged in these poses. From here, walk your hands forward into your low lunge and then step your left foot back into that 3-legged high plank pose and hold. Breathe. You're in control. And keep your leg up if you did on the other side. As you exhale, lower down halfway into your low plank. Vinyasa through upward facing dog and send it back downward facing dog. 5 deep breaths. And just like your breath, it's a practice of holding on and letting go. Let this physical practice represent that as well. Find those moments where you can be present in your strength, holding on, and find those moments where you can be present in your relaxation, letting go. So when you're ready to flow, let's go. Exhale everything from your lungs. Then inhale to look up to your hands, bend your knees. As you exhale, step your feet to touch at the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale to chair pose. Sit back, reach your arms overhead. Then exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back to chair. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, back to chair, move slow. Exhale, airplane your arms, option to lift your heels. Inhale, back to your chair, ground down. Then forward fold, exhale. For halfway lift, breathe in. Chaturanga, high to low plank, breathe out. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. As you inhale, reach your right leg high. Then exhale to step it through to a low lunge. Warrior 1 as you breathe in, arms reach up. Then breathe out to interlace your hands behind your lower back. Inhale as you roll your shoulders open, prepping for your humble warrior. Exhale, hinge at your hips for your humble warrior. Come all the way down. Inhale to rise, find warrior 1, arms reach up. And as you exhale, open up into warrior 2. Well done. Reverse triangle as you inhale. You can add the sky archer to triangle pose as you exhale. Stay flat, stay open, stay lifted. Then inhale to rise, bring your hands to heart center. As you exhale, bend your left knee, straighten out your right leg, Skandasana. Inhale to walk your hands forward into your low lunge. Exhale to set up your 3-legged high plank and hold for 1 inhale. Chaturanga as you exhale, or Nataranga, and meet me in downward facing dog. Once there, you'll inhale to reach your left leg high. Keep it going. Exhale to your low lunge. Finding warrior 1, inhale. Exhale to lower your hands down behind you, interlace your fingers. Inhale to lift your heart up as you press your knuckles away. Then exhale to humble warrior, hinge at your hips, crown of the head down. As you inhale, rise up for warrior 1, arms reach up. Then exhale, open up into warrior 2, smooth and controlled. As you inhale, reverse triangle or sky archer. As you exhale, triangle pose. Inhale to rise, hands at heart center. As you exhale, Skandasana, bend your right knee. Inhale, rise out of Skandasana, walk your hands forward into your low lunge. Then exhale, send your left foot back into a one-leg high plank and hold for an inhale. High to low plank as you exhale. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. And right away, inhale, look up, bend your knees. As you exhale, step your feet to touch top of the mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold. Fewer cues, chair pose. Open arm twist to the right. Inhale, back to chair. Open arm twist to the left. Inhale to chair. Then chair plane your arms, maybe lift your heels. As you inhale, come back to chair. Then forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Chaturanga, high to low plank, breathe out. Upward facing dog, inhale. To downward facing dog, exhale. Then inhale, reach your right leg high. Step it through to a low lunge. Spin your back heel down for warrior one. Inhale. Exhale to interlace your hands behind your lower back. Inhale to press your heart open. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Humble warrior. As you inhale, rise back up. Warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse triangle inhale to triangle pose as you exhale. Inhale to rise, hands at heart center. Exhale, Skandasana, back knee bends. Inhale to walk your hands forward into a low lunge. Exhale, send your right foot back into high plank. Hold, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high to low lunge. Spin your back heel down for warrior one. Then interlace your hands behind your lower back. Inhale to puff up and open through your shoulders. Exhale, hinge, humble warrior. Inhale, rise, find warrior one. Then open up warrior two. Reverse triangle, big breath in to your triangle pose. Breathe through your transitions. Inhale to rise, hands at heart center. Exhale, Skandasana, right knee bends. Inhale to rise, find your low lunge, top of your mat. Exhale, step your left foot back and hold for one breath in. Then high to low plank as you breathe out. Upward facing dog. Send it back to downward facing dog. And right away, inhale, look up, bend your knees. Step your feet to touch top of your mat for halfway lift. Inhale. Forward fold, exhale, and take a seat on your mat. Come to lie down on your back and hold your knees into your chest for a full wind pose. And when it's mindless, a pose like this becomes boring and annoying and frustrating to be in. But when you're mindful, there is so much to observe in your mind, your reactions, your thoughts, thought patterns, but also in your body, your digestion, the subtle lengthening and softening in your lower back, in your hips and spine. So it's your choice, mindless or mindful. You're here now, so make it count. Take a big breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, and release your legs, setting up for Savasana, the most important pose of your entire practice. Take your time as you settle in. Take up as much space as you need to soak in the energy of the practice, to process all that you've just done. So close your eyes, relax your face, and feel the weight of your body completely supported by the ground beneath you. You can let go. Notice how it feels to just be in total relaxation, body and mind. You're welcome to stay here. If you're feeling really good, you've got the time, you can even pause this video. But if you're ready to come out now, we'll take our time. Just take a big breath in and out, stretching through your fingers and toes. Roll on to one side, press yourself up to seated, and bring your hands together at heart center with your eyes closed. Our yoga practice is one of balance and connection of your body and your mind. Whether it's your strength being challenged in power poses, or your mind and your mental strength being challenged in the yin poses. All of it is part of your practice, and all of it is here to serve you. You're exactly where you need to be, and today's practice happened exactly as it needed to happen for you today. You did great. From the yogi in me to the yogi in you, Namaste.